Hi, welcome. It's Kenny Russell, Bulldozerfaith, living life in the Spirit. We're gathering together testimonies of people whose worlds have been totally transformed. Why they've been transformed? I've got Jerry with me today. He's going to tell us all about it. Jerry, Hebrew roots, brother. You know, this is a word that's been used more and more. And, you know, you go on the internet, goodness me, if you go on the internet and try and work out Hebrew roots, it's a minefield out there. But we want people just to understand Hebraic roots, coming back to the roots of our faith, is about identifying what was the early church like? How did they study? What did they see? How did Jesus walk? These are key questions that everyone wants to know the answer for, and every pastor from every pulpit wants their people to understand the answers to these questions. What happened in your journey to discover about the early church and the ways of Yeshua from the Scriptures?
Wow, a thesis statement. Basically what I've learned on this journey is that he was the walking, talking embodiment of the Torah.
Amen.
He walked it out on a daily basis, and they go, you've got the wristband that says WWJD, what would Jesus do? It's kind of like, it's what did Yeshua do?
Right.
That's where we're trying to walk. That's where I try to walk daily. And just learning that walk. It's been a slow journey. I've been at this 3 years. Hanukkah's my birthday.
Right.
That's how I count it. It's like that was the first feast I celebrated was Hanukkah. It was liberating. My wife's is Yom Trua. She's about 4 months ahead of me on this, and about probably 6 or 9 months further into study than I am. The walk has been, it hasn't been difficult. It's been easy. It was liberating when we came back from that first Hanukkah. I came home early because I was on call that day, and Julie came home a couple hours later, and we looked at each other and went, we need to get rid of the Christmas trees. We hadn't put up a Christmas tree that year. They were sitting out in the garage, and we had 2 large ones and 1 little small traveling one that we traveled with when we were moving.
Just to make sure you had that Christmas tree.
Yeah, we had that. Yeah. We had a little.
Put it out in the back of the car as you're driving.
Well, actually, we had a little 2-footer that we took with us because the kids were with us when we would travel over Christmas. And anyway, came home. She looked at me. I looked at her and went, "We need to get rid of the Christmas tree." It happened to be garbage day, so I went out to the garage and threw them out on the curb. And about 30 minutes later, we're sitting here looking through the window, and the garbage truck backed up. Most satisfying sight to see those 2 boxes go in the back and that clamshell come down and crunch them up. And
wow.
Haven't looked back on that. Didn't miss the old pagan festivals. Didn't really have any melancholy over losing because we gained so much more. It was, it was right after Yom Trua that first year there that we started keeping Shabbat on a really regular basis. And as soon as we start keeping it every week, the blessings was, right. He tells you blessings and curses. If you do what I tell you to do, I'm going to bless you. Yeah. And amazingly it was, boom, the blessing was a 3-day weekend every single weekend. Yeah. We celebrated Sukkot that following year, and I took 8 days off, and I had a 2-week vacation. Felt like I came back and I'd been gone for 2 weeks. We celebrate a feast like what Yeshua did, and it's like I come back refreshed because I've done what he's telling us to do, what he walked, we're trying to walk.
See, it's so liberating in what you're saying, because when we understand that, coming back to Torah is not going back trying to find the big old man up there with a big heavy stick that just wants to batter you, but you're saying coming back to Torah is liberating, it's freedom, it's rest, it's the appointed time where you are meeting with the Father, where you are coming to say, you know what, we love you. We just want to come and worship you. We stop from the busyness of our lives. We take time out to get in the rhythm and the pattern of how YHVH has called us to be. These are his appointed feasts. They're a blessing for us and also a blessing for him because he gets to fellowship with us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We spent time together. We spent time in fellowship here. We came out of a church that was trying to draw us in. One of the last things we did was we went to a marriage enrichment weekend, and or an enrichment weekend. It wasn't marriage, just an enrichment weekend, and it was contrived by the church. Julie came. We went to service a couple Sundays later, and she came home. She goes, "I can't say the Nicene Creed, the Apostles' Creed, because I can't say those words anymore." And I never really listened to it. I'd been saying it since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. I grew up in the Roman Catholic Church. She said that on a weekly basis, or on a daily basis when we were going to Mass every day. And hadn't really listened to the words. And then the following week, we went to church. She stood next to me, didn't say a word. And I really looked at what was up on the screen. And I got to those words, and I can't swear feely to the church.
Right.
You know, I can't, I'm former military. When you raise your hand and you swear an oath, it means something.
Yeah.
And that was an oath that I was taking that day. And it was like, I can't take that oath. And I think that was the last time we went to Sunday church, and it was shortly after that we started Shabbat. And it was shortly after that we started Shabbat on a regular basis. And now we go to a fellowship, we go to a feast, and we're with family immediately. When I went to church, I wasn't with family. Now I'm with family. We joined, we got Victor's fellowship pointed out to us, and it was kind of like we went up there the first time to meet people that were living down here near us, and we were welcomed in. It was a family. Yeah. It was family there. We've got a home family now. We go to a Hanukkah, or we go to a Passover with 600 of my best friends at the last Passover, you know, and it was 600, a close family. It wasn't like
you got a big family, brother.
Well, but what I'm saying is, when you go to something like that, is even though there's a ton of people there, that you would think it was felt foreign,
isolated, or
that everybody was family. I can see where the crowds that followed Yeshua, why they had to have felt like family there, like he was talking to them each individually, not just standing up and saying something, but talking like we're talking here. Right. Even though there might be 4,999 people around me, he's talking to me. And that's what he's doing today out of the Torah. He's talking to me.
Amen. It's about relationship, coming to Torah. And that's really what you're saying, Jerry, and I really appreciate it. It's about relationship. Do you know him, or do you just know about him? You know, are you following Yeshua just because someone says this is what you do? Or did you search the scripture and discover this is how he says you are to follow him? Because we live in a world that is just so filled with, look, I was just thinking a second ago, the washing machine gets invented, and the television ad says, "Oh, you housewives, we've got great news for you. You're going to have to sit back, kick back, watch the telly for hours, because here comes the washing machine. It's going to wash your clothes. Then here comes the microwave. 3 minutes, you got a meal. You got more time. You're going to have so much time off. By the time you got all your gadgets in your home, gadgets in your car, oh man, you're going to have this permanent vacation because technology has arrived. In fact, you look around and people, they're so divided with and diluted with their lives. We see divorce more common. We see lives and families just so broken down because people are worn out, they're exhausted. and they're tired. And you're talking about entering into His rest. You're talking about taking these times out. You know, it's amazing, and it's such a blessing. And we want to encourage you today to enter into His rest. Is your world just so full that you don't even have time to understand what you truly believe? Then I challenge you today, like Jerry and Julie has done. You know, I remember sitting in your home last year. You know, we prayed and we talked about, you know, Father, just bring in those divine appointments, those connections, others to fellowship with. It was an isolating time. You know, who do you fellowship with? You know, how far do you have to drive to see other people? And, you know, to have that time of prayer now, to be in your home tonight and right now as we're broadcasting, you know, say hi, everyone. Hi. Yeah, we've got a house full. You can't see them right now. No, we won't show you them. Oh, they're crazy. They're crazy. But, you know, here we are in a house filled with the joy of YHVH, filled with people who have come to the realization that they don't just want to attach themselves to Jesus or Yeshua, but they want to live life on purpose. And that's our desire right now, to set you on fire, to say, come on, don't burn yourself out with the ways of this world, but enter His rest, follow the Shabbat, and go back to the Scripture, and I know that He's going to reveal His plans and His purposes to you, and come and enjoy the feasts of YHVH. You can find out more at bulldozerfaith.com. We've got Jerry's wife that writes for us there on the blogs there. Just come and check it out and see. We have answers to your question. If we don't have answers to your questions, please ask. We're here to help you on your journey in discovering who Yeshua truly is from a biblical perspective and not from a Constantinian Catholic or Protestant mindset. I want to thank you, Jerry, for taking the time to share with us.
Thank you.
And thanks for opening up your home as well. It's a blessing to be here and see what the Father is doing down here in Florida. I want to thank you for watching. Until next time, blessings.
Let him hear what the Spirit has to say.